of the ring here at State Mart Center in Fresno, California. This is Golden Boy Boxing on DAZN. Our next contest is scheduled for 10 rounds in the super lightweight division. Brought to you by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions in association with Cancun Boxing. And presented by BetOnline. Odds for tonight's fight are brought to you by BetOnline. Chuck Chansey Gold Resort and Casino, voted #1 in the Central Valley. Corona Premier, the National Farmers League, American Pistachios, and Grape Man. The judges scoring this contest are Ralph McKnight, Fernando Villarreal, and Zachary Young. And controlling the action when the bell sounds, the referee in charge is Michael Margado. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 137 1/2 pounds. As a professional, his impressive record stands with 33 victories against 5 defeats with 1 draw, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He wears white this evening and hails from South Del Monte, California. Please welcome a 2012 Olympian, the former WBC interim lightweight champion, and the former IBF super featherweight champion of the world, Joseph JoJo Diaz Jr. His opponent fights out of the red corner. He weighed in at an even 138 pounds. As a professional, his record stands with 26 victories, 2 defeats, 1 draw, 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He wears red trimmed with white and represents Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico. Please welcome the former NABF lightweight champion, Oscar La Micrana Duarte.
Okay, listen. This belt line here is a little high, so I'm going to let belows here and above be legal. This belt line looks good, okay? You both received your instructions in the dressing room. Ya te di las instrucciones atrás en el camarino, okay? Queremos una pelea limpia. Let's have a good, clean, hard-fought professional fight. God bless you both. Good luck.
So a true crossroads bout here as both of these fighters, this man, Oscar Duarte, and his opponent, JoJo Diaz, looking for a career rebirth. It seems much more vital for JoJo Diaz to get the victory here tonight, but for both men, this feels like a must-win. Round 1 underway. This one's scheduled for 10 rounds. You see JoJo Diaz in the white, Oscar Duarte in the red trunks.
And as always with JoJo Diaz, this comes down to his ability to match the punch output of his opponents. When he's lost some recent fights against William Zepeda, against Mercito Hesta, he just took 6, 7, 8 punch combinations and didn't throw back. He has got to match the output of his opponent tonight, because Duarte, he's eventually going to open up.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. I think in recent JoJo Diaz fights, he's been the one forcing the fight, but Sergio, he hasn't been the most active participant in the fight.
No, he normally keeps his guard up and blocks all the shots, but when it comes to a fighter like Duarte, you're going to have to catch and counter. You can't just let him keep going. He's a buzzsaw non-stop, especially if you're against the ropes. The thing about Diaz is, he is a great ring general. You know, he knows how to pounce on opponents, doesn't let them set their feet. So the punch volume will go drop. It's going to drop on Duarte's part. That's what JoJo brings to the table. You know, experience, he knows how to move around the ring, and he knows how to fight like a left-hander.
You know, Sergio, we've called a lot of JoJo Diaz fights over the last few years. I think we both agree this is probably the best shape we've seen him in coming into a big fight.
I agree. No, not only that, but his skin looks good. I mean, his face looks refreshed. He looks really healthy. And, you know, I love what I heard in the fighter meeting, but that goes out the window. I want to see how you look in person. So far, he passes the eye test.
Shot to the body there from Diaz, and he's sticking to the rhythm that he said he would employ in this fight. We're seeing backward steps from JoJo. We're seeing the jab. We're not seeing him hang out on the inside as Duarte tries to force him to be there.
And that's what I want to see from JoJo Diaz. I don't want to see an aggressive volume puncher. You know, you're not a puncher. You're a boxer. You know, that's how you made the Olympics. You know, that's what you got to go back to, especially when you're aging as well. You know, you're fighting younger fighters. Let them do all the hard work. You keep them on the back foot.
See Duarte And Diaz trading body shots there a moment ago. The left hook to the body from Duarte. Uppercut to the body from Diaz.
And JoJo's ability to keep that mobility going is going to be paramount in this fight, because too often he finds himself just exchanging in the middle of the ring. And as we noted, oftentimes just being out-volumed in those exchanges.
Yeah, but so far he's keeping the fight in the middle of the ring. He's moved in both directions, to the right and to the left of the perimeter of the ring. Staying off the ropes is going to be the main thing here, because Duarte, as soon as your back hits the ropes, he unleashes. And that's actually where Ryan Garcia did really well in the first fight. He was moving, sometimes a little bit too much, but it was a game plan, and he ended up running them into some shots.
Nice counter shots there from JoJo Diaz as we wrap up round one. Round two underway. Of course, you saw Robert Garcia in the corner with Oscar Duarte. Start of their new partnership. And one of the things that Garcia talked about, Sergio, in terms of how he wanted to adapt Duarte's game, he said he wanted to loosen his shoulders a little bit. Describe what that would do for a fighter.
Well, look, when you're tense, you know, you're tight, you know, so that's what he means by loosening up the shoulders. You know, you don't want a loose fighter. One, you'll take a better shot to the chin, and two, you're just going to release the shots better. You know, they want him to throw 4 or 5 punch combinations. You can't do that by being tight. You just need to stay loose and relaxed.
Nice combo to the body from Diaz a moment ago, and a nice sharp counter left hand, but Duarte putting a little more zip on his shots here in round two. The shoulders might be loose, but the power is still there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Robert Garcia is not trying to reinvent the wheel here with Duarte. He wants him to be largely the same fighter that he's been, but he also wants him to let his hands go a lot more. Too often in Duarte's fights, he sort of looks for the perfect shot. He tries to line you up and get his feet set and see the target before he throws. What Robert said to him is throw everywhere. Hit him in the shoulders, hit him in the arms, hit him in the midsection. Don't worry about hitting one specific target. Just let those hands go.
Good shot there by Duarte.
Nice straight right hand. Then he brings that same shot down to the body as well.
Yeah, Duarte has faced 3 southpaws in his last 6 fights, and he won 3 by knockout. I asked him, do you prefer fighting southpaws? He says, absolutely. My favorite punch is the right hand. So he has a southpaw in front of him, JoJo Diaz tonight.
I don't think he's going to win by knockout, though. I think you can hit JoJo with a sledgehammer, and you can't knock him out. He has one of the best chins in these lower weight classes.
Yeah, and frankly, that was probably part of the problem in a backwards way for JoJo. He knows he's got a granite chin. He knows he can roll with shots, and there was a comfort level in those exchanges on the inside that wound up not serving him.
Yeah, just because you can take a big punch, you don't want to rely on always taking the big punches. You know, a lot of boxers that don't have one-punch knockout power, they can take big shots, you know, because I'm one of them. We've had to actually go through the fire.
Nice body work there from Duarte a moment ago. Diaz again rolling off the ropes, getting back to the center of the ring.
So JoJo can take a big shot upstairs, but it will serve him right. It will serve Duarte right to go down to the body of JoJo. Since he's fluctuated in weight so much and had weight issues, you know, the body might be a little softer, and that's when we can actually maybe hurt JoJo.
And specifically on the weight, this fight was contracted at 138 pounds. So JoJo weighing 137 and change, that's exactly where he needs to be for a fight like this.
This uppercut from Diaz a moment ago, but Duarte banging away to the body once more. Is finding routes downstairs as he aims down there once more with that right hand. Now Diaz firing away with one hand free. Action heating up. Round 3 begins. JoJo Diaz and Oscar Duarte. Crossroads bout here as we prepare for our main event a little bit later on between Jose Ramirez and Rances Barthelemy. 2 fighters entering this fight with a new trainer. We've talked about Oscar Duarte with Robert Garcia. It's now Christian Guevara in the corner of Joseph Diaz Jr. Guevara, a part of the Luis Neri camp in particular, and they talked about how just a change of scenery for Diaz, having other fighters around him that he has to compete with in the gym, has been a big boost to him.
Yeah, you know, that happens to a lot of fighters that have been around a long time, and JoJo's been fighting since he was 8 years old. They lose the hunger to train by themselves or train around the same people. So a change in location around younger fighters that can motivate you. Not necessarily that they're better fighters, just younger. They run faster, they punch faster. So you want to keep up with the younger guys, and it's sometimes a good thing for an aging fighter.
Nice body shot from Diaz a moment ago. There was some good work from Duarte early in this round as well.
And you hate to call Jojo Diaz an aging fighter at 31 years old, but when you look at his resume, he's fought every single fighter and champion you could think of. So he's been around such a long time that you just think he's older than he is.
Nice left hook a moment ago from Duarte, then back to those right hands. And in particular, Duarte said he liked this matchup because he likes to throw more right hands. And when you're against a southpaw, naturally you have to.
Yeah, and Jojo's taking that right hand away from him right now because he keeps moving to Duarte's left.
There's that right hand to the body again. Jojo parrying some of those shots, but he can't parry them all.
And you can see the power is definitely on Duarte's part. But the timing, I think, the timing and the accuracy is on Jojo's part. Jojo landed 2 good body shots. Diaz is an excellent body puncher once he starts letting those hands go.
Inside the final minute here of round 3, the intensity really picking up here in this round. Diaz doing some good work, but being made to work a whole lot harder than he did in rounds 1 and 2, and Duarte breaking through with some nice power shots as well.
Pick it up a little, Jojo. That was a little low.
You know, I still like that movement from Jojo. A lot of times over these last few years, when he's got an opponent coming at him, he'll just stay stationary and bang it out there in the middle of the ring with them. Right now, he's showing some good versatility.
Good body shot on the inside by Jojo.
Good body shot from Duarte as well.
No, both of them, yeah. But I think
there's another one from Diaz.
I think the cleaner one was from Diaz, but yeah, this was a good round by Diaz. Finally boxing the back foot, Duarte on the front foot, but yeah, it's gonna be very tough fight for Jojo. Interesting fight the next couple of rounds.
You know, I like the instructions from Jojo's corner because they were two-pronged, right? One, it was very specific thing he needs to do, slip and then throw that punch right after it. Also, a little bit broader. Say, hey, you got to keep letting your hands go. You're going up against a guy that's going to throw a lot of punches. You've got to match him.
And our apologies, of course, for the language in the corner. In the midst of that profanity, some very good advice. Chris Mannix, what does your scorecard look like right now without profanity?
Without profanity, I've got it 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Jojo. I thought he landed the cleaner punches in round 1 and round 3. Competitive fight, though, through 3 rounds. 29-28 in favor of Jojo Diaz.
Yeah, Duarte gets, he needs a couple of rounds to get started, so yeah, I think 2-1 Jojo sounds pretty good, but competitively, as far as respect goes, it's an even fight right now. Duarte's already earned his respect, and Jojo's boxing nicely and using his intelligence and experience.
Guys, watch your heads inside.
Diaz just missing with that uppercut, just pops that left hand. Another body shot from Diaz. Sergio, you gotta like that quick straight left hand from Diaz. He's almost throwing it at the velocity you would of a jab, but it's a timing shot, but it's landing again and again.
Yeah, and he's not throwing it with much power. He's doing it to get a reaction from Duarte. He wants to get Duarte to punch when you can counter the counter puncher. So Jojo Diaz is boxing really smart in this round. I love the fact that he's touching Duarte. He wants him to react in order to get him to fall off balance. Throw your power shots.
Started to come together, though. A little sloppy. Had one small headbutt, nearly had another right there. So something to watch as both these guys are coming forward.
What I don't want to see Jojo, he's been pulling his head back straight. He's already done it in 2 different rounds. Duarte's the type of guy that will punch around your guard and catch you coming out. So Jojo, even though he's boxing nicely this round, he better watch out with his chin up in the air and pulling back like that. That's a big no-no in boxing.
Duarte certainly punching around that right elbow of Diaz, sinking a couple nice body shots in there. And you can hear the power of Duarte here ringside. There's some bass in those body shots when they connect.
There is bass, and we heard it, when we spoke to him. His trainer says he punches really hard. Robert Garcia was saying, man, it's not that it's just straight power. It's a numbing strength when he punches. And you can see it. It's just formed like a strong puncher. Heavy puncher, heavy hands. See, you can even hear it right there. Duarte bouncing off the shoulder of Jojo. And this is Duarte's fight right here. Nothing landing cleanly, just punching whatever Diaz gives you.
because he's going to throw a lot of punches. He just has to avoid that one big shot from Canelo.
So round 5 underway here. Oscar Duarte, Jojo Diaz. A fascinating matchup unfolding right now, as Jojo Diaz making some of the adaptations to his game that he promised he would. He's using his feet a little bit more. He's working from range. He hasn't been hanging out in the pocket. But Oscar Duarte showing his strengths, his physical strength, and that left hook like that.
And that's what I don't want to see from Jojo Diaz. It's just block, that earmuff defense that is not going to work against a strong puncher like Duarte. You need to make him slip like you did in the earlier rounds. Move around the ring, make him miss completely. Don't give Duarte a target.
And they can't be unanswered. You know, look, Jojo can take these shots. He's not going to get knocked out by them. But you can't win rounds unless you're throwing back.
No, he'll get knocked out by him if it slips into the temple. That's how strong Duarte can punch. Even though Jojo could take a big power shot, it's only a matter of time, you know, before you get hit in the wrong spot by a strong puncher.
We take a look at the CompuBox totals right now. You see Duarte with a slight edge in landed punches, 48 to 45, and outthrowing Jojo Diaz as well. But you see the accuracy of Jojo, 28%. Duarte landing at just a 19% clip. So you like those numbers for Diaz right now. But certainly you like the volume, which is to be expected of Duarte exceeding that of Diaz.
Well, aside from the volume, it's also the power that comes behind that volume. Like, this is a really good round for Duarte, and he's already pushed back Diaz and kind of already made him feel his power. You know, Diaz is not countering back like he normally is in the earlier rounds, like he normally does.
Hard shot by Oscar Duarte.
Jojo's hurt.
Jojo is hurt.
Jojo's hurt, and I'm telling you, he punched around the guard. Jojo kept pulling his head back. That's a big no-no, and it finally caught up to him.
That right hand buzzed Diaz. You saw Diaz with a little shoulder shrug, getting a little dirty, trying to buy some time. Can he recover from that shot? There's a lot of time for Duarte to work with.
And this is what I was telling you, Chris. You can only go to the well so many times when you're a veteran that can take so many punches. Jojo Diaz has never been knocked out, but it's only a matter of time before you get hit in the wrong spot and your body betrays you.
And smart of Diaz there, as he gets hit again, to punch back when he's trapped against the ropes. You let a guy tee off on you like that after you get hit with a clean shot. Don't give a referee an opportunity to stop a fight.
There's a big sweeping right hand from Duarte. A couple moments ago, there's another one right down the pipe. Fantastic round from Duarte, and one of the first times that we've seen Jojo Diaz affected by a shot in his career.
Jojo's never been down and never been visibly hurt. That's the first time I've seen him shook.
Round 6 underway. You see some of the swelling underneath the eye of Jojo Diaz in the corner. And the tone in the corner of Jojo Diaz vastly different than it was early in this fight, as Duarte bangs away already in the opening 20 seconds of the round.
Duarte's just getting started right now. That's Duarte's fight right there. Anytime Jojo's going to be against the ropes, you can expect Duarte to throw 6 to 8 punch combination. Every single one punching through his target.
There's that looping right hand again. And you've been talking about that earmuff defense. This looping right hand is not coming around the guard necessarily, but it's making Jojo think it is, and then it's coming down the middle.
Yeah, and if Jojo gets lazy and pulls back just 1 second, like he did right there, Jojo's bound to get caught with those looping shots if he keeps doing that. Luckily, he had his hands up, but the later this fight gets, the technique's gonna fail him.
Diaz having to work very hard in these exchanges.
Against a fighter like Oscar Duarte, the last thing you want to do is get comfortable behind that earmuff defense, the hands up. Only certain fighters can get away with that. Jojo's not one of them. Not against Duarte, at least.
Warning there from the referee. The edict from the corner of Diaz right now is you have to pressure him. They want him to go to the inside right now.
You know, by keeping your hands up like that, you're giving your opponent a target. See, a fighter like Duarte doesn't mind hitting gloves. He doesn't mind hitting anything. He's building points and breaking through, piercing through the guard.
Look at those power punch numbers from Duarte. 29 landed power punches in that round.
Good body shot there by Duarte.
Yeah, that was an excellent body shot. And Diaz just continues to get hit with power punches. Statistically, he gets hit by about 17 of them per round. And it's a gamble against a puncher like Duarte.
That left hand hurt Jojo Diaz to the body.
All right, our Chris Mannix is standing by with Christian Guevara.
Christian, JoJo's taken some pretty good shots last couple of rounds. What do you need to see from him?
Well, this round, I had him kind of get some more stability. I told him utilize the ring a little bit more, find himself back to where he needs to be in a stable position. Then let's get to work, create openings on both directions, right and left. He's allowing him, I think, sometimes to come in through the center, which is we're allowing him. You know, it's not like he's earning it. He's just walking in, but now we're making adjustments as we go.
When Oscar comes forward like that, what do you want to see?
I just want him to take a quarter turn and then stab it in between.
Thanks so much, Chris. Very eloquent advice from the corner of Jojo Diaz. The question is, can Diaz... Vamos con todo, faltan 4 rounds.
Care to translate that, Sergio?
No. And not because I didn't understand. My headset went out.
Round 7 underway. Oscar Duarte and Jojo Diaz Jr., a high contact fight as expected. And you heard Jojo Diaz in the corner after that 6th round. He felt he won that round.
No way. I mean, Duarte had a good round that. I mean, he did it. He started letting his punches go, and I think he caught the attention of Jojo downstairs. I don't like the reaction, the body language of Jojo in the last round. See, this is where Jojo should be jabbing. You know, it looks like you're controlling, the pace of the fight, not letting Duarte get off on punches.
Diaz said the key for him in this fight is just not let Duarte get set. And over the last couple of rounds, you're not only seeing Duarte able to get set, but as Jojo's own coach is pointing out, letting him walk in the front door and do stuff like that.
And look, Jojo a beautiful combination by Jojo, but exactly what I told you he needs to not do is pull his head back. One shot, pulling his head back like that, Duarte called him on the way out. So no matter how good you are with the combinations, if defensively you're flawed, you're going to throw all that good work out the window. Duarte should just be concentrating on the body. That is it, the body of Jojo Diaz. Just like that, beautiful body shots like that. That's going to wear down Jojo and remind him of the last body shot he took in the last round.
Hard hooks again there from Duarte. And one thing working in Duarte's favor, Chris, and you're scoring this fight as well, even the shots that don't land from Duarte, they seem to just be moving Diaz. You could feel the impact of those shots.
Yeah, they're the cleaner punches and certainly the harder punches in this fight. I don't think Jojo is landing anything inconsequential. He's doing a decent job, but round by round, every big shot seems to be leaner. More big shots seem to be landed by Oscar Duarte.
And you can see it in Jojo's face. He's bumping and bruising, getting red. Blocking those power shots, they're not enough. You're supposed to totally make your opponent miss when you're dealing with an opponent with heavy hands like Duarte.
Good sequence there for Diaz. A body shot, a couple of jabs on the outside. Again, having to work very hard to get that work off, but then hooks like that from Duarte kind of make you forget about some of Diaz's work.
If Jojo keeps pulling his head back, he needs to dip down. He needs to go under the shots instead of trying to pull back from the punches.
Round 8 underway. Oscar Duarte and Jojo Diaz Jr. Diaz trying to make adjustments to his game plan, but he's been in there with a hard charging power puncher in Oscar Duarte. He has his hands full here tonight, even with those adjustments.
Good body shots there by Duarte. I mean, if I was Duarte, I'd just ignore the head of Jojo Diaz and just aim at the torso, aim at the body. That's where you're going to actually break down an experienced fighter that can take a punch upstairs.
Well, let's hear what Duarte's corner thinks. Chris Mannix is with Robert Garcia.
Oscar seems to have taken a little bit more control over these last few rounds. What are you seeing?
Well, you know what? I see that he's doing really good with his head movement, counter punching, blocking, and coming back with punches. But there's also those moments where he's letting Jojo grow, letting him believe that he even has a chance. He gets moments like this right now, but then there's a few seconds later, he lets him grow, and I don't want him to do that.
What do you want him to stay away from with Jojo's offense?
That counter punch, when Oscar throws that right hand from far distance, he's getting countered.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you so much, Chris. And Duarte just belting Diaz with these right hands, but look at Diaz banging away here in the pocket himself.
Banging away, but still pulling up with the chin up. He got hit with 2 overhand rights by Oscar Duarte. Man, I'm telling you, Jojo Diaz could take a big punch, but he's getting hit too cleanly by a big puncher in Duarte.
Another right hand over the top there from Duarte. And as we alluded to during Diaz's ring walk, really the question is, at what point will the hard fights inside the ring and the hard living outside of the ring catch up with him?
It happens to every fighter, every aging fighter. No matter how good of a shot you take, no matter how tough and experienced you are, you grow old overnight. And I'm not saying in age because Jojo's only 31 years old. I'm just talking about in wear and tear. Jojo is antique when it comes to that. He's fought everybody.
Jojo, gotta show me something.
Nice counter there over the top, though, from Jojo Diaz. A beautiful right hook, and now a nice left hand over the top as well.
I also think, Sergio, and I see Duarte coming forward again. I sound like a broken record sometimes with these Jojo Diaz fights. I just don't think he can be a threat in these higher weight classes. I don't think he's big enough to compete at 135 or 140. Doesn't have the pop. At 130, where he won a title, I think that's where he's most effective. But
don't do that. Come on, keep it straight.
If he's not able to make the weight, I don't see him being able to compete with guys like this at this weight division.
And I don't like the way the legs are responding to Jojo Diaz. I've already seen his legs buckle 2 or 3 times without getting hit. There's a lot of fight left here. Combinations.
Good advice from Robert Garcia in that corner. One thing, Sergio, I know you appreciate is that when Duarte lost to Ryan Garcia, he didn't fire his team. He just felt he needed some more experienced voices in that corner. That's why he went to Robert. So you see the same team around Oscar Duarte. It's been around him for most of his career. They have just been supplemented by the experienced voice of Robert.
And if you're going to go with anyone, that's the man to go to, is Robert Garcia. His perfect instructions and, of course, the great training they get, in the Robert Garcia camp.
Well, Garcia compared this scenario to when Marcos Maidana came to the Robert Garcia camp as well. Chris, I think you alluded to that earlier.
Yeah, when Marcos Maidana lost to Devin Alexander, he came to Robert Garcia and started working together, and it led to a world title against Adrian Broner.
Duarte's fighting his fight now. Digging down to the body and unanswered punches. Normally, Jojo counters come backs with something, either to the body or uppercuts. Not anymore. Jojo's getting broken down.
Yeah, that left hook produced a reaction from Diaz. The heart of Diaz, unquestioned. You see these numbers right now, 157 power punches landed from Oscar Duarte. He's thrown 566 of them. Again, the volume just outworking Jojo Diaz.
And Corey, to your earlier point, even the ones that Jojo's catching are still having an impact. Oscar Duarte is throwing with force, and they're hurting Jojo.
Jojo's cut from the left eyebrow as well. Now bleeding and bruised.
See the redness on the right side of Jojo Diaz from those body shots of Oscar Duarte.
Hard right hand right down the middle there from Duarte. As Diaz finds himself with his back against the ropes, this is a bad place to be with a banger like Duarte.
Jojo can't hurt or get the respect of Oscar Duarte. He's not big enough for this weight. He landed some good shots. He just can't seem to do anything to keep Duarte off him. No respect.
And Sergio, to circle back to my point about the weight, yes, when you get a little bit older, you move up and wait. It happens. But hard right hand, and that is it! Oscar Duarte has stopped